is the new OP.
I mean, top Kale. Just what Kale brings to the table is amazing, right? Like in the later stages of the game, once you build 40% CDR, you pretty much use your ultimate intervention twice in a single team fight. So broken. Probably. And I think one of the PBE patch notes for the 4.11 patch was they were nerfing the cooldown on that, which I think is the right choice to make her not like as overbearing as she currently is. And they're and I think they took down a couple AP ratios as well.
I mean, it's just ridiculous at this point, right? Like, you lose the team fight because of Kale's ultimate, and then you give away the dragon, and then you come back and you go into a team fight again, and she has her ultimate again.
That's snowballing for you.
That's just snowballing right there. And also, it seems like it's going to be Lulu, Ziggs, Orianna, and Jax, but I want to talk about the Lulu band, though. Nowadays, like, for such a long time, right, we've had this tanker meta in the top lane. Mundo, Renekton, Shyvana, so on and so forth. And people were saying that we're so sick and tired of Renekton and Shyvana. But now it seems like that age of tanker at top is slowly coming to an end with
it's
those.
Slowly coming to an end. I think it's
like champions like top Lulu and top Kale.
I mean, it's mainly because of what these specific top picks bring to the table. With Jax, you get like this huge amount of damage that scales over the course of the game, and he doesn't have the worst laning phase. It's not like the best, like Renekton's laning phase, right? But I mean,
but it's not like Katarina or something, right?
Right. I mean, he'll get through the game, and then but you see like these picks like Kale on top Lulu, and they're definitely made to protect a specific person. So
but it seems like they're hovering over the Lucian and Braum bot lane composition, though.
Very strong composition. Very strong combo because you get your laning phase. I mean, Braum manages to tag someone with Winter's Bite. Then you have the passive that's up. Lucian goes in with his Relentless Pursuit, hits him twice, uses his Piercing Light, hits him again. They're stunned. I mean, it's just a lot of damage, and Braum does have a hefty amount of burst kind of built into the way his passive and the Winter's Bite works. So he ends up doing a surprising amounts of damage. However, it looks like 매우성남가문, let's just say Team Rage.
Team Rage.
I don't even know how to...
Team Rage.
Or Team Rage. Clan, I don't even know.
No, Team Rage is just...
Team Rage Clan.
Appropriate to
Rage Clan, I don't know.
The max.
But it looks like they're going for Thresh as their support pick, which I think is okay against Braum, just mainly because like Thresh previously, before all of his like crazy nerfs, like because the successive nerfs, still put out a decent amount of harass, and he, like, if Braum at early level 1 and level 2, he doesn't have the best sustain in lane, and he's not. This is also the point where he isn't super tanky. So as long as you're able to like sit behind your minion line and then just like smack at him with the ranged auto attack, it's actually not terrible. And if you can zone out the Braum early on, then you will have a lot more space to breathe. But with the Jinx pickup, I'm maybe expecting a lane swap to come out of them, because the Jinx Thresh against a Lucian Braum isn't the best matchup for the Jinx and Thresh. You'd want maybe another... I would have said like maybe a Caitlyn would have been better. You want someone that can poke the Braum out, essentially. Like
well, I mean, I asked a lot of pro supporters, like, which support other than Braum and Thresh are good supports? And they said, if you're not going to include those two on the list, we might as well just not talk about supports at all. But we see Irelia in the top lane, and now that and also considering that Jax is banned, Irelia actually seems like a decent pick.
I mean, Irelia is definitely a decent pick, but it really depends on what was it?
Wait.
Team Rage Clan's going for.
This is a strange...
Yeah, it's a little bit weird what they're doing. I'm pretty sure Prime's going to be thrown for a loop for a little bit. And my best guess?
Top Annie?
I mean, this is just all sorts of awkward, but like maybe the top Annie.
Because top Syndra is less likely, right? I mean,
the problem with picking like, you know, Annie or Syndra and going top lane with them is like they don't duel super well. Like yes, they can poke out like you know, the Irelia earlier on, but I think we're seeing a bit of a... Okay, so I don't know if their swap is bugged right now, but we'll see. It's a support Lee Sin, maybe? Oh, no.
It's a top Annie. But also the thing is, like, when lane swaps go down, a lot of the times the bot lane would just freeze the lane. So the top laner, instead of getting denied, they would just roam around with the jungler, right? So perhaps they picked Annie for that purpose.
I mean, right now, our player, aka Diana, has picked the Annie. But if they get, so this means they can't do the lane swap. They cannot do the lane swap because Annie doesn't have the longest spell range, and while she does have 625 attack range, unless you're getting like Doran's Blade and going AD runes on her, you're not going to be the best at last hitting under turret. So we'll see what Team Rage Clan has kind of planned out for their early game, and we'll see what they do. If the Annie does roam with the Lee Sin and does the jungle follow, maybe we could see this happening for like maybe a very early level 2, level 3 mid gank. We'll see. But the enemy team, their enemy Prime, has picked a mid Morgana. So if he gets shield at level 2, it might be very difficult to actually gank the Morgana. So we'll see.
Right. I mean, we'll have to see how it goes, right? I mean, nowadays, because also that's the joy of watching NLB, I guess, that in champions, players are somehow limited, right, because of the pressure and the amount of things that are on the line. But at NLB, that's where we see those comfort picks. But those brave, audacious picks, and the Summer Super record again, 100% Bander pick. This the Cassidon and. Hecarim, actually, CV Max's Hecarim has made his appearance twice.
Those 2 wins are from just him.
Yeah, that is just CV Max alone.
I don't.
And the only game
I don't agree with maybe putting that as the 100% win rate.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that is the only.
But I mean, you know,
that has 100% win rate.
Right.
Currently.
And 0% win rate though. Corky,
Yeah.
not the hottest champ at the moment.
Oh well, not. He's very strong, right? So he has a very decent laning phase. He has great team fighting potential, and if you combo him with other top, let's say poke picks, for example, like the old Nidalee, which we won't be seeing
or like
anymore.
the Ziggs or something.
Yeah, Ziggs. The Gragas Hut actually has a lot of poke potential. So if you're building a poke composition, Corki does all in fairly decently. He does have a decent amount of burst on his Phosphorus Bomb, along with the Armor Shred on his Gatling Gun. But I think this is maybe a case of, hey, it's a strong pick and we'll pick him, and then maybe like the team just loses.
That's the thing, right? At this point, like the difference between good teams and the not so good teams are pretty stark, and it's always the weaker teams that are forced into those stronger picks, right? So this super record so far may not be a complete representation of how good these champions actually are.
Yeah, I would say maybe hold off judgment until towards the end of NLB, or maybe take a look at the statistics for OGN champions.
Right, absolutely.
So then we'll have a better indicator of how these champions kind of stack up in competitive play.
But like the ones that really stick out at us, though, like the Jax or the Cassidon. I mean, not the Hecarim. Definitely. I mean, we cannot say that Hecarim's not 1P just because C-Max won on it twice.
Yeah.
But I mean, Nami is also a great pick too, right?
Nami is definitely a great pick. Great team fighting potential. I mean, you frequently see Nami paired with Twitch.
Kog'Maw or Twitch.
Yeah, Kog'Maw and Twitch. And the great thing about Nami and Twitch is that Twitch gets the movement speed boost on his ambush, then Nami puts the Tidecaller's Blessing, speeds him up a little bit, and then it gives him a slow on his next 3 auto attacks. So, great combo. Nami's a very good champion, in my opinion.
Nami is a very good champion, in my opinion, too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a situational engage, and also her disengage is very good, too, right?
Right. It's harder to use her tidal wave for engages. It's better to use it more as a disruption tool in the middle of a team fight, or as a just hard disengage tool. Mainly because that if the enemy team is coming straight at you, if you tidal wave while someone's coming at you, it's a lot easier to hit them than if they're running away. So it's not the best engage
Especially
tool.
Gessinger's really slow projectile speed.
Right. So it doesn't have the best projectile speed, but it's much better when people are when people are coming at you rather than when they're running away.
Right.
At that point, you just want to use maybe a I forget what's called.
Aqua Prison?
No, Talisman of Ascension to speed your team up, and then follow up with an Aqua Prison. That's probably the better thing. So we'll see.
Right. I mean, also, like, Nami, I think the supports who have used Nami actually, like, Kish has used it really often. Buy it from ITENJOY. And now we get on the way here, and we see Annie actually with Doran's Ring and the Cookie. And Thresh with the Ruby start, though. That seems like a Sightstone rush.
Right, it's a Sightstone rush and also gives him a decent amount of combat stats. It definitely gives him more HP when he's in lane. So what he's right now doing is he's gonna be looking for a lots of poke, lots of just be as aggressive as possible in the early levels, and probably like kind of push out the Braum. And what he needs to do is he has to dodge those Winter's bites. So he's gonna want to either stick inside behind the creep line and then just smack away whenever they get close and get a flay backwards. Those are the things that he'll want to do. The other parts of the composition, maybe we'll see. I would say Prime doesn't have maybe the best team fighting comp. They have a much more pick-oriented comp right now, between the Elise, the Morgana with the 3-second snare. But since it's mid Morgana, I don't know if we'll see. It'll probably be maxed out second. The snare will probably be maxed out second. However, you also have the Braum, who gives you that great single target. Like it'll single out one person if you hit them with a Winter's Bite. I mean, they have a lot of pick potential. But on the other side, I actually don't know what to make of this team composition. It's also very like pick-ish, I would say. There's probably a better way to put it, but we'll see how they decide to play it out.
And it seems like Annie is gonna leash the red buff for the Lee Sin. Oh, and we see the bot lane duo moving to the top lane. So, but if the line swap does go down, though, Irelia is gonna, you see, because like you said, the issue with last hitting, and Irelia with her Blaze Surge is like the queen of farming, right, under the turret.
Right, but also if you Blade Surge at a minion to CS, it also exposes you to the Thresh and Jinx, right? So if the Thresh is right on the minion line, and then Irelia Blade Surges in, flay backwards, get a ton of hits, so not the best, I would say. Irelia, this is why Irelia wasn't originally seen a lot, because she had a very hard time in lane swap situations. But it looks like Team Rage Clan's going for a 3-buff start, and they're stealing away Prime's red buff, and they get it.
And there is the early threat from that level 1 Annie, right? Like with her
definitely
AoE stun, and she's really strong at level 1.
Right. Well, she she charges up the stun with the W, and then gets the AoE stun off. This is like kind of what we saw a lot with support Annie when she was really popular. But
so are we going to see a 4v1 dive here? Oh, it seems like Hanabong is caught there, though. So if the stun lands, this might be problematic now. Surely.
Yep, there he goes.
Well executed, but on the long run, so Barry, what do you make of this play? So in the long run, is this really that much of a benefit?
I think it's better. It's actually a huge benefit for Team Rage Clan, mainly because they have a Jinx, and now the Jinx is level 3, so she put 2 points into her switcheroo. So they'll be able to take down this tower fairly quickly. And if you look, Prime not really interested in the 4v0 push or like the 3v0 push. They're just gonna take the minion waves as it comes and slowly put damage on it. And looks like Team Rage Clan's gonna back off. So they could have gone for a 4v0 push straight into the tier 2 at top lane. But I think they're just going to pull back and be satisfied with the one tower they took. However, the problem right now is if they don't manage the minion wave very well, then they'll give Irelia a chance to free farm. So, and I think that's what's going to happen.
I mean, also, that strategy they showed, that Team Rage Clan showed us, is that was actually the exact strategy that Prime, when they were Prime Optimus, used against SKT T1K, getting the 4v0, getting the early top lane dive.
S or K? S?
Both teams, actually. They
tried against K. They were much more successful against S.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they beat S on 2 occasions, right?
Yeah, 2-0.
But, yeah, there is a reason why that play actually fell out of the meta, right? Because, like you've said, if Irelia actually manages to free farm there, that early turret doesn't really snowball into an advantage. So
Right.
on and so forth.
When we saw the 4v0 meta, when as rest in peace 4v0 meta, but when we did see it happen, what we saw a lot was the team doing the pushing would push it either into the tier 2 or into the inhibitor turret if they managed to get down the tier 2, so the enemy top laner can't farm. The turret will destroy the creep wave, and then the creep wave will start pushing back. So at that point, then you keep denying the top laner farm. But in this case, while the wave is pushing back towards Team Rage Clan, Irelia still managed to get a decent amount of farm. 18 to 11, not the end of the world.
Right.
Like a 7 CS difference isn't terrible, and you see that Diana is actually laning with Thresh at the moment. Actually, we should not call it Diana. Let's just call him Luna. I think that might be better.
Luna might be better, right?
Yeah.
Because Diana is a name of a champion, right?
Right.
So, and now we see actually Team Rage Clan moving Jinx to the top lane and having her farm freely on her own. What do you make of that play right there?
I mean, it could be risky, mainly because the Irelia does have a decent amount of all-in potential. And if you see that there's like a slight level difference, which will be made up once the rest of that minion wave dies. However, once Halabong hits 6, though, he does have a huge amount of all-in, and they, Old B and Halabong right now could possibly go for a dive. I don't know if they'd have enough damage.
It seems like the minion wave actually isn't to the favor, and if Jinx actually holds out here for a little longer now, the teleport coming in from Annie, and they're forced to back away. So they attempt to dive, they exchange flashes, and, well, I guess forced Annie to use her teleport, but they must have thought this was a certain game, and they come up with nothing.
I think they had the right idea. Prime had the right idea, but the problem with that was once the teleport came in, they started to back.
Oh! The death sentence and Kyul evades the stun very nicely.
Yeah, but his shield was pointed in the wrong direction. So
that's the thing about Braum, right? And
yeah, I mean, I think this is also the case of people are using SmartCast and they're not super used to it yet.
Absolutely.
I personally am not a fan of using SmartCast, and people make fun of me for some reason. Hey, I managed to get the Plat 1 in NA without using SmartCast, so I think I'm doing something right, a little, at least.
Well, I mean, I use SmartCast because my hands are slow.
Yeah,
but
I got the cream in APM.
If it works for you, it works for you, right? No one
Yeah,
can,
I mean,
actually, Faker doesn't use SmartCast.
See, I'm the next Faker.
You are the next Faker of Platinum 1.
Yeah, I'm the Faker of Platinum.
You are the Faker of Platinum 1.
All right, but going back to the game, so the wave is pushing back. The wave is pushing towards Prime right now. So Halabong is gonna have a very nice time. Going back to that gank though, even if Prime had gone committed fully to that gank and the Annie hadn't teleported top, they still would have lost one member because they started to back off the moment they saw the teleport, and Halabong was actually one turret hit away from death. And if they were going full out for that gank, for that dive, he probably would have died to the turret. And maybe they would have traded aggro correctly. Who knows? But while it was a good idea, maybe it probably didn't.
Oh, great stun from Syndra, and this time Braum gets the shield direction right.
Yeah, I mean, good for him.
Good for him. I mean, a lot of the times also we see like, the
nice
true
try.
shot barrage from Ezreal would just go the other way.
Yeah.
Especially when you use the SmartCast.
Yeah, the SmartCasting occasionally goes the wrong way.
Occasionally goes wrong, but so I mean, just give us a bit of a wrap of the game so far. So, because like this is something we don't see all that commonly now. We see Team Clan Rage going for the dragon. So Barry, what is their game plan?
I think what they're doing is they're gonna get the Jinx to scale up because the Jinx will scale very well, and they're looking for, I would say, team fights because they have the AoE stun in Annie. They have the flash Tibbers, and then that's a huge AoE initiate, and then they'll have the Syndra to maybe like start off things with her longer range stun, which is also slightly AoE. It's a little bit more of a line stun, or as a follow-up to the Annie. They have two ways that they can engage, and they also have the potential for making picks because they have Thresh. So I think what Team Rage Clan's plan is they have the option of doing both picks and going for a more heavier team fight going for a more heavier team fight kind of oriented strategy. So what I expect to see is that they'll try to at least force fights at specific points. Now, what they have to be careful is they need good vision because Prime, as I said before, they have a very good pick composition. They have actually a very strong pick composition.
So vision control and good engage is the key word for Team Rage, it seems.
Right. I mean, that's generally what you want from any team,
Any
right?
team, but at the same time, like, because also, well, I guess they do have decent engage from Annie though, right? And,
Right.
And also, like
this
you said,
could be a problem.
this could be a problem. And intelligently burning the flash, and actually, Relentless pursuits forward, but Braum without his ultimate. If Braum was level 6, that could have been trouble.
I mean, that could have been trouble. The reason why they were very confident about that play is because Zetingen.
Flashing forward, but Morgana Soul Shackles in there, but Syndra will be able to get this kill, and Elise is forced to back away. Beolt has to be careful here, flashing away now. Irelia is roaming to the mid lane. Is something gonna be made out of it? Dragon's Rage, but
The Spiderlings.
Spiderlings.
Good guy Spiderlings.
Good guy Spiderlings.
Cleaning up the kills.
GJ Spiderlings.
Yeah. GG.
GJ means good job.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Catch up with lingo, dude.
Oh, my bad.
Well,
English is my second language.
Well, GG actually is a good game.
Good guy. Good, whatever. Moving on. However, yeah, back to my previous point. The reason why they were so confident about that exchange was because Zetingen was actually a full 3 levels above the Thresh and also a level up on the Jinx. So he's even holding them off 2v1. So he's in a very good spot. He just needs to be careful because another death sentence or him getting hit.
This is what you talked about, right? The lack of vision control. Both of them teleporting to the bot lane here. But Annie is forced to back away. I think she has to be content at just being able to hold out the tower. Now, Jinx will be forced to recall. I would actually go as far as saying that is a mistake from the Thresh.
Yeah, definitely. But he either wasn't keeping track of the Braum or didn't expect the Braum to be there. But the moment he saw Braum jump in, he kind of moved to kind of establish a zone. But the problem is he was at
like super low HP,
200 HP, so
200.
he took a piercing light to the face and died. So maybe he wasn't super aware of how much HP he had. We'll see.
Right. Yes, we'll see.
Yeah, but I mean, death right there.
Death is death. And now Prime ITENJOY actually leading in terms of global gold.
Yeah, they're in a good spot right now. The Irelia is just farming very well. If you see 86 CS to 41 of the Annie. Annie's playing much more for the team, and also has been denied when he tried to go up for the farm underneath turret. And now all he's really doing is roaming. So we'll see if he can get enough farm to get going to be the AP threat that Annie can be.
And now Jinx, although she is a hard carrying late game champ, but well, maybe not even. And the fact that the bot duo is so malnourished, that's going to be problematic.
It's definitely going to be problematic.
I mean, yeah. I mean, some CS difference early on in the game may not matter, but if it gets this wide, I would be concerned.
Oh no, it's definitely concerning. The problem, the one saving grace that Team Rage Clan has is that Jinx scales very well, and they also have a team fight oriented comp. If they can get one good engage in terms of an Annie Tibbers with the Syndra's follow-up stun with like a Thresh going in there setting up the box, then the Super Mega Death Rocket comes in. Like, they have a great wombo
and
combo,
now you've said this is a great pick composition, and they make a great pick right here in the top lane.
Right, he was all alone. If you look at the mini-map right now, Team Rage Clan didn't really have that much in the way of wards. All of their wards are invested in their red side jungle, which, I mean, if they want the Jinx to farm safely, that is probably the best bet.
And that is the power of the Morgana bind, right? It seems like it lasts a lifetime.
Yep, it's the only 3-second CC left in the game, I think.
Because Fiddlestick's Fear got nerfed, right?
Right, along with Rammus's Taunt. So,
because that Fiddlestick's Fear was just too much, though. Like 3-second of targeting CC.
Right. The original idea, I think, behind it was, it doesn't do any damage, so we'll just let it be the 3-second
really long.
CC it is. I mean, the problem is it kind of Fiddlesticks fell out hard in the meta. Well, he was already falling out, mainly because the Season 3 style 2v1 wasn't as popular at that point. The reason why field support was so big is because you would fear the enemy top laner, and then you could get free hits on them. So, and then SKTK actually pioneered this.
Right, with Pumandu, right?
Right, Pumandu, when he first picked it in last year's Champion Spring, there was like a big yelling and like excitement over it by the Korean casters. So,
And now the dragon is up though, and Team Rage, not surprisingly, very aware of the vision they create there, and they are going to attempt to steal here, but like you've said, Prime ITENJOY do have but this is a steal, and he will be able to escape with the Dark Passage. That was the almost textbook Lee Sin Thresh Dragon Steal.
right, and maybe it was overconfidence on Prime's part. Old B saying that, hey, I can do my follow up with my neurotoxin, the venomous bite, and the smite combo. That was overly confident. They should have pulled the dragon out. They should have pulled the dragon out, and then, you know, just so that there's no chance of Lee Sin just coming over the wall with the resonating strike. So, very, very amateurish misplay by
And
Prime.
also, the thing is, like, I might be wrong, but it seemed like Elise had the lens while she was going after the dragon. So perhaps a bit of a complacent vision
overly
control.
confident. I think it was both overly confident and very amateurish mistake. I mean, there's no other way to put it. And Prime going for the mid tower.
But it seems like Syndra's lane clearance is actually pretty decent. And Annie teleporting behind there. They are pinging rapidly, but
there's no one to follow.
There's
up.
no real threat here. But Tibbers going in on Braum though. But the Braum ultimate going in well. But this is the smart cast that we talked about though. But Morgana actually binding both Lee Sin and Syndra. She gets the double kill, and Jinx won't be able to add much damage here. Aurelia flashes forward, Blaze Surge in, the Cocoon lands, and Jinx will be finished off. Team Rage Clan is aced here.
Right. I mean, Annie had the right idea, but the rest of his team just wasn't in position.
Lack of communication, right?
Maybe lack of communication could have definitely had one part of it. It was just a bad timing in general, I would say. It was a good idea. It was a good try, and he tried to get Lucian and Braum together, but Lucian managed to relentless pursuit out of it. So he managed to dash away, and it was safe. And he shouldn't have really gone for it unless we'll see it right here.
Right. So Flash Tibbers, but Lucian actually dodges the stun, and from that moment onwards, despite the culling missing,
and then they just clean up. I would say if Annie had managed to catch the Lucian with the Tibbers, then that may have gone a different way. Because it's a hefty chunk of damage. Tibbers plus like the full Annie combo.
Right.
That's what Annie was going for.
So
But he was just faster.
If had the Tibber landed on both of them, the team fight could have been like 50-50, 60-40, but the moment it missed Lucian, it was just...
Yeah, it was done. I mean, the rest of Team Rage Clan just wasn't in position, and they're going for a pick.
But now Braum actually is fairly tanky, so he is actually tanking a lot of damage here. But if even Morgana gets caught off here, this might be, but the heal saving your life, the death sentence, beautiful.
Very. I mean, they have the option of going pick, and they just made that one pick that kind of got the rest of the thing going, and they could most likely take this tower here.
Especially with a Jinx, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's the fun thing about playing with Jinx.
Right. And here it's a 4v3 currently.
But low on HP, they will have to back away. But Aurelia actually may be a little too audacious. One more auto will do it. And Jinx quite free dealing here. Death sentence and Annie moving in from behind him. If the
Jinx
stun lands on Lucian, this is the thing about Jinx's passive, right? Once it gets procced, she is pretty much unstoppable.
She's going. She goes and gets going. And Prime maybe overplayed their hand a little bit. they didn't have wards to see the Annie coming in for the flank, but they should have had the idea.
They should have had the idea.
Yeah, because they definitely would have been able to see the Annie exit mid lane towards the topside jungle, so they knew there was the possibility of a flank.
Right. It's funny that they're all Diamond 1 Challenger level players, right? And sometimes I go on Invent and I look at the tips board because I want to get better at League, right?
Yeah.
And they say, okay, the best tip for silver gold players is be more aware of the map. When someone is missing, don't engage in a team fight. And we see them making the exact same mistakes that they told us not to make. It's just a bit of a moment of bittersweet joy for me, so to speak. I mean, this is like the perverted joy I get from casting these games, right? As like a mediocre League player.
You're just gross. You're just a gross human being. I don't know what to say.
But now, Jinx she has the Infinity Edge, right? And
Definitely.
she has the later game build, and she is completing that build slowly, whereas Lucian going at the Blade of the Roaring King to get ahead, but he is a little ahead in CS, but still Jinx is caught up, but Morgana gets picked off here, right? Like you've said. And the pink ward, actually, is a big part of what happened right there, right?
Right. I mean, the pink ward, Sweet decided that he wanted that sweet pink ward, but... Hey, I also think he's using the wrong skin, Morgana's skin. If he's gonna name himself Sweet, he should be the Baker, Morgana. I think that's his mistake right here.
A lot of people would disagree with what is the best Morgana skin, though, because Morgana has
sinful succulence.
Really? Because I have the Ghost Bride Morgana. I think that's
that one's just freaky though. See,
really,
like, have you ever tried pressing B on her?
Yeah, dude.
It's freaky as all hell.
Oh, but it's a beautiful skin. I think a lot of people are fans of that skin.
I would say Blackthorn's better.
Oh, but Jinx is caught here. But
nope.
This is the thing about Thresh, right? Extra flash on your on your squishy players.
So right now, teams are pretty much neck to neck. The goal gap has closed back to about even. So if Team Rage Clan's still very much in it in this game, if they can keep the vision control up, if they can keep baiting out Prime into these situations where one of them is just, but Prime, they kind of understand what their problems were and they're starting to group up and move together.
That's the difference between me and these Diamond 1 players, right? They know immediately what they're doing wrong, and they are making adjustments very quickly. The amount of pink wards already and the vision control convinces us already, but now Rage Clan is not so scared to back out. Not so scared of going in forward at the death sentence landed. That could have been something.
Prime has to be careful.
They have to be very careful.
Oh, but Annie's joining up.
Annie is joining up. The box is set up, though. Thresh actually tanking much of the damage. It seems like it's going to be a free deal from Jinx. We see here, and Annie finishing off Prime Jet Engine now. They are on their back feet, but what's going to happen next? The ultimate landing very well. Super Mega Death Rocket, but no deaths.
Nope, nothing for Jinx to get her started.
Nothing for Jinx, but no deaths, but a dragon perhaps. Irelia just stalking nearby, adding that extra layer of fear.
Right now, what Team Rage Clan can do is go for the dragon, but Thresh gets picked off.
Right.
And yeah, they lose all dragon pressure. They should have just gone for the dragon.
I mean, Thresh gets picked off. I mean, like, this is just
this is
a bit of a deflating moment, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Thresh was very low. Irelia saw kind of over the wall and just went for the Blaze Surge, hit him, and then just ran away. So
they get the dragon. Will they get the dragon? Oh, will they get the dragon? But now they have good vision on the Lee Sin, though, right? So Old B actually blocking the Sonic Wave from landing on the dragon.
Right. I mean, he also has Banshee's Veil, which will make it so that...
Jinx flashing forward for some reason, and now Lee Sin actually kicked Irelia over the wall.
I actually didn't see who got the dragon. The smite is down on Old B, so I would assume Old B.
I would assume Old B.
But
Super Mega Death Rocket!
Nope.
Oh, no.
Close, very close.
Very close. Very close. You see, but did you notice Morgana puts up the black shield, although it doesn't block
it's instinct, man.
Right. It's like, have you ever played this game, Dota All-Stars?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I'm not sure whether this is from Dota or Chaos, actually, but there was this thing called Anti, and it doesn't heal any of your HP, but it blocks you from a spell, right? And you would be affected by a dot damage. You're gonna die, but you click on the Anti anyway. Like, you know it's not gonna work, but you gotta do something, right?
I'm trying to remember what you're talking about.
Okay, whatever. I think people who play Chaos will understand.
Yeah, I think that's a Chaos thing.
Chaos thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's a Chaos thing.
Okay, Chaos thing.
I don't remember that being in Dota.
Okay.
I remember people denying each other.
Yeah. That was the most annoying part
The
of
most fun you could have in Dota was when your teammate makes it out and they have a dot on them, but they know they're gonna survive. You deny them anyway.
Right.
That's the best thing you can do. So much fun.
Right. I mean, it was a cool game. I mean,
Well, also another fun thing you could do is what was it, Pudge? When he throws his hook, it can hit teammates. So you know your teammate's gonna go for a kill. It's like, oh, I'm gonna block your hook, and then I'm gonna take the kill. I mean,
Right.
there's a lot of.
I mean,
fun things you can do.
it's hard to troll like that in League. The best troll I ever did, I think, was actually picking a Syndra and then pulling the level 1 buff away from my jungler.
Yeah.
That's the most I could do. I mean, to be
that's
honest with
not
you.
even like a troll. That's just a dick move.
That's just the dick move, indeed. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just the most irritating thing I could think of. I mean, now you see, Irelia going with has the Triforce already. So at this point, Annie, I think, is stuck on that item for a very long time. So,
Yep.
but still, she does have the area stun and the ability to engage, right?
Right. So at this point, they're really putting Team RageCon's putting all of their eggs into the kind of Jinx basket, right? They just want a chaotic team fight to start, maybe get a pick, because right now I think just in turn they're the 3K goal behind, and then
Oh,
Annie's
but
not
this
great.
though, Super Megalith Rocket. Now they're spotted. Baron free deal now, and Annie has her teleport. And they know that Aurelia's in the bot lane. Aurelia's teleport is up too, though. But great instincts from Jinx, though.
Right.
Everyone is missing from the map. Where could they be? There is no dragon. It must be the Baron.
It must be the Baron.
Must be the Baron.
What Prime needs to do right now is kind of buy Aurelia time to kind of split push.
But
Jinx
the red
is on the
buff on
chase.
Jinx, though. Oh.
Yeah, and just gonna get away.
Just gonna-
Once he
you have
misses
to get
the zap,
Right.
there's not much more he can do.
And the only
Aurelia
armor-
could maybe possibly turn it around, but it's risky at that point.
Right.
You
and-
see, Prime doesn't have the most wards on
Right,
the map, so
right,
he's
right.
better off just backing off.
Now they are trying to get vision control of the Baron. Will they?
Yep, they have slight control now. They got rid of that pink ward. They need to ward up Prime's red side jungle.
Uh-huh.
And that's exactly what they're
That
doing.
is
right
exactly what they're doing, and like you've said, the pick composition
Right.
coming into full effect here. So what's
now.
going to
The more
happen next?
vision that
You need
either
to-
team gets.
You need to talk quietly. The center is picked up. Okay. Now what happened there?
Sorry, I was
no,
actually a little bit confused.
No. What happened there?
Oh, well, there was Syndra got caught. I mean,
Syndra
there's not
got
much
caught,
else I can say. I was actually focusing on something else for a moment.
Right. So why? So this seems like they know what to do, but somehow why didn't they go for vision control in the river brush right there?
They
Just didn't have enough pink wards.
I mean,
Thresh again picked off here. This could be dangerous.
I think he's okay.
Oh, the
but-
teleport coming in. The box is set up though, but
Yeah,
Jinx is dead for some reason, and
the team fight kind of split apart.
Right.
While Thresh was getting picked off on one side, the Prime kind of saw Jinx and Jinx out of position and jumped on it. The Syndra still hadn't respawned and joined them at that point, so either way, it was a losing fight for Team Rage Clan. They had lost one of their kind of AoE CCs, and well, the Annie's not in the best place right now.
this is a bit of a deflating moment here for me, to be honest with you. Now, is Jinx gonna have enough time? She does have the Super Megadeth Rocket though, but
Not enough time.
they will take the Baron, and now the game is starting to snowball.
Right. I mean, Prime is in a prime position to kind of close out this game. What they need to do is just keep pushing up waves. They have very decent wave clear with Morgana's Blackpool. I forget what it's called.
W.
W. Well, I'm trying to remember what the ability's called.
Yeah.
But with the pool, they have pretty decent wave clear. Jinx and Syndra have excellent wave clear. So I don't know if they can actually just straight up push it up. However, what they can do is rely on the Aurelia to split push, who does have a Triforce, which is great.
And a
Taking
Randuin's now, so Jinx is not actually... We're not going to see the same thing that we saw in the ball lane over and over again, right? Now that Aurelia has some armor.
Right. And also, now that he has health, he has armor, he can jump on the Jinx and just keep going at it, because he can slow the Jinx with the Randuin's active.
And Lee Sin again trying to look for a steal, but now Prime is so aware of exactly what they're trying to do, though.
And they get it
And
this
they
time.
get it this time. And Aurelia is actually flanking them. This is a dangerous spot. Prime needs to get out of here. I mean, Team Rage needs to get out of here as quickly as possible. So
That
now,
could have ended very poorly for Prime, because
Right.
only 2 of their members were actually able to get over the wall.
right.
But so it would have been 3-on-5 with Braum and kind of who was the other person? And Morgana kind of going around the long way to catch up. So
Well, Braum can use his W on like his friendly, right?
right, but no one was really in range because they had to keep going for it. And they take the tower, and they're gonna go for the 5-man push. So,
So
we'll
now
see.
finally it's starting to snowball, right? Prime taking the objectives that they need to take, and the Braum ultimate actually kind of blown almost, but Aurelia has enough armor to tank this, but Soul Shackle's landing on everybody now. The Zhonya's Hourglass coming in. This surely is the game-ending team fight, and Prime Halabong is in a rage, and the Super
dodge.
Megadeth rocket was dodged by a great flash, and now Prime ITENJOY almost taunting the members taking their tower damage from 1 by 1 for no reason.
Yep, and that was just a great initiation.
That was a great initiation.
great take, and they're gonna keep going for more.
Right. And you know, like at this point, you know that Braum will say in your team chat that I plan to flunk that ult.
All plan.
All plan.
All plan.
All
Hashtag
plan.
worth. All
Hashtag
plan.
worth. All plan.
Yep. And he can tank up this turret while they take out the lower nexus turret.
So it seems
and-
like this is going to be a GG.
Yeah, they can end here. Look at the death timers. It's about 20 seconds for everybody dead. So, yeah, this is pretty much over.
Does
Well
Annie,
played by
Annie
Prime.
doesn't have her flash too, so Jewel actually right there harassing this. It seems like it's going to be GG if they get too greedy though, but actually it wasn't greed. It was very reasonable. It was a reasonable kill attempt.
Very reasonable.
Right, that
They
was a
could've
great
gone for a
attempt.
fountain dive.
Right. Absolutely.
But yeah,
That's the thing about the fountain, right? You know that it is PM, but when you just see like the guys hovering over there, it's like, you know, I think I can get a
Gotta
kill.